Ready to go, definitive. All right, guys, let's stay with this game. So a couple of dunks going back and forth after Giannis Antetokounmpo dunked on Al Horford early in the third quarter and gave a stare down, receiving a technical foul. Horford returned the favor in the fourth with a throwdown of his own. Horford drew a tech after the dunk as he inadvertently hit Giannis in the face in the immediate celebration. Stephen A. not happy about that tech. This is about the dumbest bleep I've seen in basketball. So Al Horford, why am I reading your tweet, by the way? You should read it in your own voice. So Al Horford drives in for a dunk on Giannis and comes down with his left arm accidentally on Giannis's face, and that's a technical foul. What the hell has happened to the NBA? That's as inadvertent as it gets.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, guys. You drive right, you come from the right wing, you drive right, you dunk it, you coming from the baseline, basically, you dunk it on Giannis, you come down, your arm hits his face, and that's a technical foul? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Somebody got to speak up about this. We can't listen. The NBA is going to do what the NBA is going to do, but public pressure forces people to reflect upon things from time to time, anyway. And this is one of those things that we got to sit up there and just say to yourself, "Come on, can we play basketball, please?" You know, Giannis went down because it was an and one. He got fouled on that play by Giannis, and because on the way down you hit Giannis in the face, that's a technical foul. Come on, y'all. It's just too much. It's just too much. These calls are ridiculous. I'm sick and tired of replay, by the way, taking all day, every day. I mean, damn, I got time to cook dinner by the time they finish evaluating a particular play or whatever. You're almost on the verge of getting as bad as baseball with how long games take because of what you're doing to slow the game down with all of these damn video replays. It's getting a bit ridiculous. That was not a technical foul. He came down, his arm came down, he hit him in the face. So what? Keep moving on, especially since you called the foul against Giannis, who fouled him on a play.
Can I ask you a question before I sort of answer the question about the Al Horford technical? Do you prefer that they don't have video replay? Because you want them to get it right. You want them to get it right.
Me personally, last 3 minutes of the game.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. But what about if there's a hostile act? They should call that in real time. What about if off the ball someone hit somebody in a certain area? You've got to review all this stuff.
We're talking about things that when you're talking about violence, when you're talking about harm that has been done to somebody else.
I'm not just talking about violence. I'm talking about all the plays that occur throughout a game that they review,
right.
And Twitter, us the next day, we're all in an uproar if they get it wrong.
No. We're usually in an uproar in game-deciding situations. Stuff that is subjected to human error, even when it's missed, it's par for the course. It happens. I saw in baseball an umpire call a guy out and ruined a perfect game. I forgot the name of the pitcher that was pitching in Detroit. You know, that umpire was crying. That official was crying after the game because he realized how wrong he was. Something like that is incredibly egregious. But at the end of the day, even though that shouldn't have happened, when you look at an NBA game, if something takes place in the first or the second quarter for something for crying out loud, stuff happens. You're going to make calls. You're going to miss calls.
Stephen, what are they reviewing in those situations? They're reviewing, generally speaking, early in the game, hostile.
All right, well, let me ask you.
No way around it.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you found yourself in a situation where a play was reviewed and we still saw the referees get it wrong? It was reviewed, and they still got it wrong.
Game 5, 2014
Okay.
Western Conference semifinals. Reggie Jackson tipped the ball out of bounds. We saw it on tape. Tony Brothers elected to give OKC the ball back.
Okay.
I'll stand by that.
All right, that's fine.
I'll stand by that.
But I'm just,
and we lost the game.
I appreciate
and we lost the game.
Somebody's still bitter. Somebody's still bitter.
It was right
I mean, nothing.
Hey, he didn't have to go far to recall him.
Exactly.
This was last night in the hotel.
Clear.
That's right.
No, listen.
That's hilarious.
So
right off the top. Right off the top.
It's just like the other day we asked Jalen Rose about some issue that he had with a player one time, and he right away said, Ken Conley.
That's right.
He dropped it as, whoa, Ken Conley. No one even ever heard of this dude, but Jalen remembers that.
Jalen remembers.
So here's where I'm on both of these things. First of all, I agree that should, for me, that should not have been a tech. It looked bad live because it happened so fast and it looked violent. Then I saw the replay and I'm like, wait a second, man. His left hand was up because he's kind of shielding himself from the defender. That left arm has to come down at some point.
That's right.
Came down across his nose. And the other thing is, I said, Al Horford, he's either the smartest guy in the world or he genuinely didn't mean anything by that because he never even looked at Giannis.
Exactly.
He did it and he kept looking this way, celebrating, but he never did. If he did this, maybe a different story. He didn't do that. So I think that's where I fall on that particular call. As far as I texted somebody during the game last night, a group chat. I'm like, man, how about the good old days when dudes just try to stay on their feet and guard a guy? Everything is just constantly baiting an official. Make a call, make a call, make a call. Any contact, boom, I'm on my back. Make a call. That, to me, is what's disrupting the flow of the game more than anything. I like the review in terms of getting things right, but all of these plays where guys, they're not thinking about guarding a guy through the possession, getting a hand-up contest. It's how can I try to find a way to bait an official to put him in a tough spot to make a call right now. So many plays, guys are on their back. It's nonstop throughout the game. That's what frustrates me watching the game.
So there's a couple things to this. So on the review part, which you guys, I hear your complaints. There's a challenge every game. And like last night on Jaylen Brown's 5th foul, Milwaukee used it because they called the initial play on Drew Holiday a block, and they used the challenge. So they're going to review that. So are you saying there shouldn't be challenges? Just to be clear.
I'm okay with the challenge. I think it's had a very minimal effect on the game, truthfully. I don't think it's really affected the game.
I agree with that, but the smart coaches that hang onto it for plays like that where it's an important foul, end the game, I think there's value.
I'll say this real quick about the challenge. I saw it again last night. Draymond Green took one. I mean, as soon as he hit the ground, he's going like this to Mike Brown. And I'm saying to myself, if I'm a coach, you know what I'm telling my team?
Yeah.
Do not do this. You better be right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You better, because now that one was a kind of hit, miss, bang, bang, block charge. It really could have gone either way. But there are plays that's so obvious. It's so obvious you fouled a guy. And you're doing this, and especially if it's a star, the coach feels all the pressure to appease that guy. You're asking for this? All right, we're going to do it. And then you go to the replay, we're like, why would you ask me to challenge
But
that?
let me go back to the original point that JJ and I were debating about. Human error is a part of life, just like it's a part of sports. You're trying to tell me somebody is going to fret over missed calls that took place in the first and the second quarter or something like that? I'm talking about when you talk about the last 3 minutes of a game, the last 5 minutes of a game, talk about a game being on the line, that's an entirely different matter. But before that, over the course of a game, you got plenty of opportunities to make up for any mistakes or any errors that may have taken place. We see every single play. Tell me what play that you see when a foul is called and a player ain't complaining. A player doesn't feel screwed over. A player doesn't feel that the officials got something wrong. We see coaches arguing with referees every single play. We see players arguing with referees every single play. It happens. To sit up there and act like every single damn play has to be reviewed is ridiculous. It has to stop. It disrupts the rhythm and the flow of actually enjoying watching the game. You trying to tell me, Jay, that you don't sit there, Tim Lakely, you don't sit up there at times, and we're watching the game, and it's like, damn, I ordered dinner, I'm waiting for it. I mean, they reviewing this play. I mean, it take this damn long to decide what the right play is? Come on, y'all. Come on.
Stephen A., again, you're talking about something, being able to review plays late in the game and not being able to do it earlier. But any play that they actually review earlier in the game has an impact on late game, i.e. a hostile act, i.e. a block charge foul, whatever it may be that could impact a player's availability for the rest of the game. Say a star player gets his second foul, next possession down, tries to take a charge. There's a review on that. That's his 3rd foul. He could be out the rest of the first half. Those are the plays. They're not reviewing whether or not the ball goes off someone.
So JJ, you're not bothered by it.
I'm not bothered by
it. I'm not denying that it has an impact. I'm saying, so what? Okay. Live with it.
No, I agree with him to the extent that's really what they're looking at earlier in the game is the stuff he's talking about, right? It's not like it's every play they're doing that. My bigger issue than the reviews is the constant acting job
with the players
that defenders are doing that to me.
They didn't act in the 90s.
No, they
right?
did.
They didn't act in the 90s.
You didn't have dudes on their back. You didn't have dudes on their back to the extent. Last night there were 4 guys on the floor in one play.
No, I understand. It's a bit extreme at times. But I mean, my God. I mean, listen, Shaq with Vlade Divac, Reggie Miller, and so many others. Come on now. There's a whole bunch of dudes that were planning on going to Hollywood long before they left the NBA. I mean, with some of the acting jobs that they put forth. That is absolutely true.
If you genuinely think that watching in a game today is the same in terms of dudes trying to take charges, bait a ref into thinking they just took a charge. There is no comparison between now and
I'm not denying that. What I'm saying to you is that there was a lot of acting going on before. The difference between then and now is this. The NBA has gotten to, I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about the league office in terms of their heavy hammer that they bring down because they don't want style of play disrupted. You want more offense. You want less physicality. So the game is called tighter. And as a result, to alleviate some of those things. And as a result, we find ourselves looking at it, and it's like, wait a minute now. What the hell are you going to do next? Human error is a part of it, fellas.
Okay.
Just take it.
Agree to disagree. We all have different gripes here, except for JJ. He likes the way it is.
Yeah, but he remembered 2014.
His walk back and forth to school wasn't so long.
Remember that?
Real quick, the recollection. All right, let's keep it rolling here, guys, because we have 2 game 5s tonight, and they're both tied up. Still out on first take. James Harden turned